Sometimes, the best projects start without a plan. I had no idea what this would become when I opened my CAD program, but I'm really happy that I just began. So in this video, we're going to go over two things. The first thing is that I want to show you how I went about making this tealight holder. I'm going to go through the CAD program that I used and how I ended up bringing it into a physical product. The second portion is that I have a question for you. It's not necessarily related to the video, it's related to my channel, and I would really appreciate if you would just stick around to hear me out. I will add in the timestamp as a chapter in the description, so if you don't want to watch the entire video, that's fine. Just maybe if you don't mind just jumping to the end and maybe commenting on what I had asked. I would really appreciate that. So without any ado, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to start off by saying that this is not a CAD tutorial. I had to use a CAD program to make my part, and I'll walk you through the process that I kind of went through. But I'm focusing more on the simplicity of the design, not necessarily the program itself. For those of you who are interested, I am using an online platform called OnShape. They have a pretty good free version, so I'm using the free version for now. I'm still quite a novice at making things, so I think the free version will last me for quite a long time. Alright, so I'll get into it here. The last part that I have is a tealight shade, so I'll double click on that. Now when you look at it, it looks kind of complicated. If you're not used to seeing something in a CAD type of environment, this whole toolbar on all the different options here can look quite intimidating, and I'm still taking a little bit of time to get used to it. So basically the design is pretty simple. I'll start off by just showing you the top of it here. You could tell that it's just a circle, right? And that's literally how I started. I'm going to get rid of all the fancy ribbing that I have down here on the side for the time being, and I'm going to show you what I started with. So there. This was my very first design. So sketch one is you start doing your design and it gets more complicated as you go down, right? So I started off with a circle radius, or a diameter, I guess it would be 50. And I started playing around. I believe all I did was I went up the spline up here. I picked my center. I went like that. I may have went like that, and then like that. I think that's basically how I did it. That's how I did it. So I would have another design here if I was actually keeping. I wonder what that would look like. We're creative people on this channel. We want to learn how things, what things can look like. So I'm going to try leaving it like this. I want to see what happens. So I did that. Like I said, nothing scientific about any of the geometry or anything like that. I'll click that. Ooh, look at that. Wow. It looks the same a little bit, probably because I was on the other axis. I'm going to reverse my change because I want to just talk about what I had done. So, okay, my sketch. So the next step, I'm going to jump ahead just for a second to put this as 1 because it's not going to make any sense if I don't. So my next step was to extrude my sketch, right? The circle that I had and that line, I wanted to be able to bring that into a 3D type of view. So I extruded that, and I'm telling you, this was completely arbitrary on the values that I picked. I decided 60 millimeters. Don't know why. I picked 60. And I extruded my design. It also took the rib that it looks like a rib now when I'm done extruding it. You can see that on the side here. So okay, now I have the extruded version. To use something, I had to use a circular pattern. So basically, I'm creating a pattern around the circumference of this. And to do that, I needed to have kind of have a frame of reference. What do they call it here? I needed to have a sketch plane, I guess is what it's after. Anyway, the point of that was that I needed to have something for this to rotate around. So I needed to have a line. That line is not important necessarily. It's a construction line. It's not there in the real value, like in the real end product. But I used that for a circular pattern, and I started playing around. What does 10 look like? Okay, that looks scary. Let's try 20. No. So, of course, knowing me, more is better. So I picked, no, not that much. I picked 100. And I got that. And it's like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Let's go with that. Let's see what happens. So I tried to, the next step would have been, okay, well, I need to shell it out so it looks like it's a tea light holder. So I tried using the shell command here and doing that, and it didn't really work for really well. I got it shelled out, but when I sent it to the printer, it was going to take 4 hours. And I thought, no, if it's going to take 4 hours, there's something not quite right with this. So I left it as is, and then I brought it over to my slicer. I'll show you that next. For my slicer, I'm using a program called Orca Slicer. It's a free tool that I can use to convert my drawings into something that the 3D printer can use to print. The 3D printer expects layers in a special type of code called G-code. And I need to be able to convert my drawing, and this is the type of tool that will do that. I'm going to go over the basics. I imported my part, so it's right here. I place it on my bed. And then I go over and I say, okay, what kind of filament do I want to use? And I'm using my pearl white filament. I absolutely love this stuff. It's PLA. It's derived from plant-based material. So it's nothing where I'm like using petrol or anything like that. So anyway, so I take my my part. So the next step would be for me to go over and make this so that it's hollow. I need to have it hollow or else there's no point. It's solid right now. So what I do is I go over to Other, and I go down to, where is it here? Spiral Vase. I put it into vase mode. So, and it's basically going to tell me a lot of different, it's going to end up changing around the config a bit. Loops will be 1, supports are disabled, all of that. Maybe I'll do a printer start type video later on where I go over some of the nitty-gritty parts of this, but I wanted to go over the simplicity portion for this video. So I set it to vase mode. I say it's slice. It's going to take a second for it to go through. It's trying to convert everything to G-code. And then when it's done, I'm going to have a part that'll be completely hollow. And it just makes it easier. So see here, you see the actual part. It hollowed it all out for me. This is really, really thin. It's like literally one revolution around. It literally just goes as a spiral all the way up to the end. It's really, really neat. So I do that. I click export into G-code, and then I have my file that I can send off to the 3D printer. It took a little over an hour to print, but the end result is that it's really simplistic. You can definitely see the ribbing. It's clean. Like I said in the video, the discussion portion, I love the filament. It's got a nice off-white color to it. This is something that I will have in my home. And I ended up printing 10 of these. I'm going to try to put them up on my Etsy, but if they don't sell, I'm just going to give them away. They're like, anybody who uses tea lights would like this type of thing, the LED tea lights. So after I started printing these, I kind of wondered if I should include kind of a little bit of an upgrade to them. Because right now, the idea is you put in the tea light, and it just kind of rattles around in there. It's up to the person to center it in the middle. And I was wondering if I should add in some kind of insert to make it so that it holds the tea light properly, and you don't have to worry about it shaking around. So I came up with just a very simple little insert here. It just goes over the tea light like that. And then my idea is I drop it in, I put some crazy glue on the bottom, I drop it in, put it into the center, and then when it dries, I can take the tea light out, and then now you have a nice little insert for it. The issue with that is that they make these in different sizes, and I didn't take that into consideration. I can technically make a much bigger holder for it to try to take into account that, but this whole project was based on simplicity. That was the whole idea. I wanted something really, really simple. And I figured this just complicates it a little bit more. There's not a lot more effort that goes into you dropping it in and trying to figure out if it's in the center or not. And there's no real detriment if you don't have it directly in the center. So I decided just to go without it. And I ended up, like I said, printing quite a few of these. I will put a link to my Etsy store on the bottom of the page if you're interested in seeing them or whatever. But this was a really fun project for me, and I like doing this type of project just because at the beginning I don't know where it's going to take me. I did not know I was making a tea light holder when I started. So I don't know. I just think it's really, really fun. All right, so now I'm at the portion of the video where I said that I have a question. And the question isn't about the video particularly. It's about the types of videos that you guys would like to see. At the time of this recording, I don't really have too much of a community with my channel, and I want to build that. I want to have a community where I can interact with you. You guys can give me ideas. Maybe I can give you ideas. I have a website that I registered as well that I'm going to be building a website around, just some supporting material for you, give you some different ideas about different things. And I want to make this a thing. I want this to be a little community. So please, if you don't mind, just maybe pop into the comments and say what type of videos that you would like to see. My channel is about creativity and bringing back kind of the creative process, and how some people can kind of get overwhelmed with whatever they're doing in life, work or whatever have you, and they lose some of this. And I want to try to help bring that back into your life. So if you don't mind, maybe just pop into the comments and mention what you would like to see. And I look forward to seeing you guys later on. Thank you. Have a good day.